Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So whether you are preparing for your first SQL interview or you're looking to brush up on your skills, so today's video is just for you. In this video, we will be diving into the top SQL practical queries that are commonly asked in the interviews, and I will be breaking them down step by step to help you understand the concept behind them. So without a delay, let's start our video. So first query which you are supposed to do is you have to fetch the fields like roll number, name and age from the student table. So here you can see you are having a table of the name student, and then from there you are supposed to fetch only some column which is roll number, name and the age. So here there can be two questions. That one can be you have to fetch all the rows from the table. For that you will have to write select star from the student. So what star means? Star means that you are giving all the data, all the rows and all the columns from this table, but since this question specifically mentions that you are supposed to give only three columns, that is roll number, name and age. So let's see how we can solve this question. So before starting to solve this question, what is select? Select, it is most commonly used statement in SQL, and select statement in SQL, it is used to retrieve or fetch the data from the database. So we can fetch the data, either the entire table we can fetch or according to some specified values. So specified value can be like some specified columns or some specified condition, that based upon what condition we will be giving the rows of the table. So there can be different specified values, or we can give the entire table. So if we want to give entire table as a result, then we have to make use of star, that is select star from student. So this will give you the entire table, that will include all your columns, that will include all your rows, and the data which is returned is stored in the result table. So once you are executing your query on a table, you get some result, right? That is stored in the result table, and the result table is also called as the result set. So whatever is the answer which you get after executing the query is called as result table or result set. So let's see how do we solve the question which is written above. So the question written above is we are supposed to give only roll number, name and age. For that you will have to make use of the select clause. So you'll have to write the select keyword, then whatever are the columns which are asked in the question, that columns you have to mention first roll number, then you have to give comma, then you have to write name and then comma, and then again the age. So if in case they have asked the phone number or address or anything, then you will keep on writing in the comma separated values. So you will write all the columns in comma separated values and from. So from which table do you want these results? You want it from the student table, right? So this is the syntax. So this is the query which will help you to fetch the fields like roll number, name, age from the table student. So you can make use of select roll number comma age comma name from student. So this will give you result with the result set will have the roll number, it will have your name and it will have your age. These two columns will not be present in your result set. Okay, so let's go to the second question now. Second question is you are asked to fetch the unique name from the name field. So this is your table, and you can see we have roll number in our column. First is roll number, then we have name, address, phone and age. So whenever you are starting to solve any questions, whenever you're starting to solve on any query, so always make sure that you are going through the entire table so that you understand that how the table is structured and what are the different components, and then it will be helpful for you to solve any query. Like for now it is only asking about unique name. After some times in next question maybe they'll ask you something else. So for that reason you will have to thoroughly go through the each and every columns, each and every rows of the data table. Rows sometimes you can skip, at least you can see the top 5, and after that I think data will be same, but at least columns and all you have to see properly, like what is the data type stored in every column. So read the data table thoroughly and then you can move to solve the questions whichever is given. So question here is you are supposed to give the unique name. So you can see we are having students name like Ram, Ramesh, Sujit, Suresh, Sujit, Ramesh. So there are duplication. We have Ramesh two times, okay, we have Ramesh two times, and then we have Sujit two times. Now we should have a result. We are supposed to give a result where these duplications are not there. So we just want Ram, we want Ramesh, Sujit, and Suresh. So only I think the four result are expected, four values should be there, and also they are just asking for the unique names. They are not asking for the entire row. We will see how we can give the entire row also. But here, since they have just asked about the unique name, so we will be looking into the answer where we will be giving the unique name. To solve this query, we will have to make use of the distinct clause. So distinct keyword, it is used in conjunction with the select keyword. So whenever you are making use of distinct, it should be with the select, and it is helpful when there is a need of avoiding the duplicate values present in a specific column or the table. So you can see here that there was duplication. That is why the question is like, we want just the unique name, we don't want multiple duplicate values. So in that case, we can make use of the distinct clause, distinct keyword. And when we make use of distinct keyword, only the unique values are fetched. This is about the distinct clause. Now we will see how we can get the unique name. For that, we'll have to make use of the distinct clause, and always we can use the distinct clause with select only. So you have to write select and then distinct, and what unique values do you want? You want unique names, right? So you will write unique, the names. So column name, you will give that. What unique column do you want? What are the values? So you want names, so you'll write that from name you have to give me the unique values, and from student, so this is again a keyword, and this is your table name. So from student table you want unique name. This is what this query means. So what will be your outcome? Your result set will have the name as the column heading, and then you will have Ram, Ramesh, Sujit, and Suresh. So these are the four unique names present in our data table. And in case they don't just want the name, they want the entire row, like let it be the entire row, and we want to see entire row. In that case, what you can do, instead of name you can write asterisk, that is star. So you can write select distinct star from student. So in that case, you will have these first four rows, because these first four rows are unique, right? So Ram, then first Ram will be there in your result set, then it will, your cursor will go next to second, that is Ramesh. Is Ramesh already present? No, it is a new one, right? So this will also get joined in your result set. Then you have Sujit. So Sujit is also not duplicate, this will also get concatenated. Then Suresh, is this duplicate? No, so this Suresh will also be there in your result set. Then next is Sujit. So is Sujit duplicate? Is it already there? Yes, it was already there, right, in our result set. So this will not be there in your result. Then similarly with Ramesh, Ramesh is also already present in our result set. So these things will not appear in your result set. So if you want the entire row, then you can write star. So this will give the entire row. So this will be your answer in case you are making use of star. In case you just want the name, then you can specifically mention that what is the column you want to see. You want to see name, so you name unique values you will get. In case you want to see the address, unique addresses, you can write that address here. The column names you can mention in this. So you have to write select distinct name from student. This is how you can solve this query. Now let's go to the third question. Third question is, you are supposed to insert the data in the data table, that is student table. So you are given with a data table which is having columns like roll number, name, address, phone number, and age. So and you are asked to add another row, like another data you should be adding. So for that, the syntax is insert. You will have to make use of the insert keyword. And then in what, so you are inserting into something, right? Whenever you do any other task, not only SQL, you're trying to insert anything, trying to insert some video in your playlist. So how do you say you are inserting into something? You are inserting a video into some playlist, right? This is how you, it is like normal English. So insert into what? The table name, that is student. So insert into student. And what are the values? So you are inserting values, right? In data table we have always values. So what are these things? Rows are nothing but they are your values. So you are writing insert into student, that is data table values. And then you have to be alert that what is the data type that is expected in every column. So you can see that this is roll number field which is having like individual values 1 2 3 4. So that is passed in string format. Then the name is also there, that is in string format. Then address you have passed, and then phone number you have passed, and age. So here everything is in string format, but yeah, sometimes it can be in some other data type also. So you have to make sure that you are just going through the entire data table properly and ask to your interviewer that what is the data type. Since here it is strings, it was easy, but in some other cases it might have some kind of constraints that it will be number only or it will have only one character. So other stuffs are there. This is just like simple string. So this is the syntax. You have to write insert into student and then values. This is a very important keyword. I've seen many people forgetting it. They just write insert into stable and insert into student, and then they write a parenthesis and they start inserting the values. No, you have to remember that there is a keyword called values, because values are what you are inserting into data table, right? So remember that you have to write insert into student or the data table name, and values, you have to always remember that you are inserting values, and then you can open your parenthesis inside which you can pass all the data. This is a normal way of how we can insert the data, but there is also a second sub question which can be asked to you is you don't want to put all the data, like you don't want to insert all the data, you want to insert only few specific data, like I want to insert the roll number and name and age. In that case, what will you do? In that case, how you can write is there is a similar query where you have to write insert into student, and then here before the values, like it is the same syntax which you have seen above, that is insert into student values. Here also you have insert into student values, but before that in parenthesis you have to mention that what are those columns where you will be putting your values. Okay, these, here you have to specify that what columns you will be inserting your values into, and these are the only columns you want to fill in your data table. So here you have written that you will only be giving the data, whatever you are giving the first data, it will go and get saved in roll number. Then the second data which you're passing here, Pratik, that will go and get saved in name column, and then the third data which you're passing, that will get inserted into the age column. So this is what you have to always remember, because above the first one, if you see the first insert query, so here you can see there are in total 5 columns, right? And you have given 5 values, so automatically one by one all values will go, like first one will go in first, then second in second, and third in third, fourth in fourth, and fifth in fifth. But for the second query which you see, in the second query you have only 3 data, you want to insert only 3 data, and if you just write simply, like without writing this column names specifically, if you just give 3 data like 5 Pratik 19, then what will happen, 5 will come here, Pratik will come here, and 19 will get stored in your address. This is wrong, right? 19 is not your address, 19 is your age. For that reason you have to specify properly that what are the like what are the columns where you're inserting the value. So if you're giving the values like the 5, that is corresponding to your roll number, then Pratik, what you're giving is corresponding to name, and 19, that is your third argument, that will go and get saved in the column age column. So this is how you can insert only specific column data. If you don't have entire data, you can only save the specified columns, you can save the data in specified columns. So let's go to fourth question now. Fourth question is, now you have the data table and you are supposed to delete the student's record whose name is Ramesh. So how do you delete the row from the student which is already saved? So here you can see you are having a data table, similar same columns like roll number, name, address, phone, and age. And then you have multiple rows, and first roll number, first student's roll number is 1 and name is Ram, and then second is roll number 2 and name is Ramesh. So what you're supposed to do is, maybe Ramesh is leaving our school or something like that, you are supposed to remove this record, remove this row, and you have to check, you cannot remove any random row, right? You are supposed to check that wherever name is Ramesh, only that row you have to remove. For that you will have to make use of the delete keyword. So you have to write delete from where, like from student. So this is like normal English. In previous you saw how we wrote insert into, like how do we say anything in normal English, I am inserting this into something. So you have written insert into something and values. Similarly, when you're deleting something, so how do you say I'm deleting this from, right? This is how you say your normal English sentences. Also with SQL queries also it is same, you're saying delete from student, you're deleting from student. So don't forget these keyword guys, because these are very important. If you just mess up with these keywords, it is going to be difficult, like you might not even understand what is the issue, you might get stuck with some logic, okay some logic is wrong, but it is actually the syntax. So always remember it is delete from, delete keyword from keyword, then your table name, that is student, and then you have to write a condition by making making use of where, that where name is Ramesh. So it's like normal English. Delete from student where name is Ramesh. So you can give any other condition also, like where roll number is 2 or where address is Gurgaon. But this Gurgaon, you can see like there might be multiple students from the same address, right? So it's not good to use such things. But I'm just giving you example that with where you necessarily, it is not necessary for you to use the name only. You can use anything like where phone number is this or where age is this. Like suppose from your school you want to remove everyone who has crossed 24 of their age, then you can write where age is greater than 24 or age is equivalent equals 24. So you can remove those students. So this is like normal where you can write whatever condition you want to. But this is the syntax: delete from table name, that is student, where name is Ramesh. So this is how you can delete a student's record whose name is Ramesh. Now let's go to fifth question, where you are asked to update the column name and set the value to Pratik in all the rows where age is 20. So you are having the same data table, that is student data table, and from here you are going to change the column. Here you have written, right, here in question it's written you are supposed to update the column name. So this is the column name, and here you are going to set the name to Pratik. So it is not like you will go and do Pratik everywhere in every row. You are not supposed to do. They have given you the condition that where will you be changing the name, where will you be updating the name to Pratik, wherever the age is 20. So where is age 20? It is here and here. There are two places where age is 20. So instead of Sujit, at both of the places, you are supposed to write it as Pratik. Okay, so you are supposed to update it. So for that, what will you do? Till now we have learned about insert, delete. Now we are seeing into update, how we can update. For that, you have to write update keyword, that is update, and the table name, that is update student. So update student, and then you are supposed to write the again one keyword, that is set. Okay, because you're doing update only, right? So you are going to set something, you're going to rename something, like the name we are renaming. So you're setting something, setting new value. Set name. So what are you going to change? You are going to change the name, because that is what is mentioned, that name column. If it was something else, some other column, you would have mentioned that. So here it is about name, so you'll write set name, and then you are writing that you want to change it to Pratik, whatever is your string, where age is 20. So this where is basically your condition, right? Previously we saw there was some other condition. Here there is some other condition, that wherever, like find those rows wherever age is 20, where and all age is 20, age is 20 at these two rows. So you will go and check that, find all the rows where age is 20, and there you are going to do set name as Pratik. Okay, so remember the syntax, it is update student. Here you don't have any from, any value, no. In update it is just update your table name, and then you have to write set. What do you want to set? If there was something like you have to set the roll number, then you will write roll number here. If it is about changing the name, phone number, then you will write the phone number. If it's about changing age, you will change age. Here in this question it's about name, so you have written set name, and then whatever is the value, and you have to write condition. If you don't write this condition, then in every row the name will get replaced with Pratik. So for that reason you have to write this condition where age is 20, and that is how you can set your value. Like you can update your name value. Then this is about like the question which is asked above. Then what if you should also change, apart from name you should also change something else, like address also. Like you want to change everything except for your roll number, you want to change everything, like the name, address, phone number and age. Then how do you do it? Since we have just seen like only for one column, for that also it's the same syntax. We'll write update student, set name. So name you will write first, that you are going to set the name, then you will write address you want to set, then comma. Like these things should be comma separated. So you will write name Pratik, then address is equal to Sikhism, and then again you will give comma, phone number is equal to this, comma, age is equal to this, where roll number is 1. So this time we are just checking that wherever roll number is 1, there you are going to do this change. So above change we did it for 20. Now the below query which we have written, we will be checking, we will be trying to find all those rows who is having roll number as 1. Which row, which and all rows do have their roll number as 1? It's only one row, right? Only one student is having roll number 1. So you are going to come and change this Ram to Pratik, and address you will change it to Sikkim, and phone number and all also you can write, like with comma separated values you can write. So this is how you update multiple columns, like this is how you set the values. So remember that whenever you are writing multiple columns, don't use set multiple times, like set name, set address. No, that is not the syntax. You have to write update student, set only one time, then column value, like column name is name, and then Pratik. Then next column name is address, then value like Sikkim. Next column name will be phone number. These and all should be in comma separated values. So remember the syntax. It is update student, set only one time, and then column name value comma column name value comma column name value, where roll number, like any condition where name is Ram or where age is 18, whatever condition you want to write. So this is how you can update any column values with respect to any condition if you want to add. Now let's see the sixth question, where you are supposed to fetch the first two data set from the student table. So this is your student table and interviewer is asking you that give me first two data, like maybe they have the data of the student in descending order, that who is having the highest marks. So in that case they want you to give like first two top results, like first two toppers of our class. So how do you give the first two results? So in that case you have to make use of the top clause, that is you have to write the top keyword. So first you will write select. So select is basically useful for selecting the data. And this star, what does star depict? Star depicts that I want all data, I want roll number, name, address, phone, age, everything. In case you just want the name of toppers, then you will, instead of star, you will write here name. Okay, since here we want everything, we want their all roll number, address, phone, everything. So here we have written star. From student, this is normal, that obviously you will be querying any of the data from your data table only, right? So from student, but important part to remember here is this top keyword. So you will write top keyword and then you will give the number, like if teacher or interviewer has asked you like give the first two toppers, you will give 2. If they have asked you give me first 10 results, so you will write 10. So whatever is the number, whatever is the number written in your question, you will write that. So top is important, top is a keyword which is very important. So this is how you can fetch the first two data set from the student table. Now a very important point which I want you people to understand is, see, top is not applicable for every database. Like there are different vendors also who provide their SQL, like who support SQL, and in their languages top is not there. Okay, this syntax top is not there for them. You can make use of let me write the syntax, then I'll explain it to you. Yeah, so I've written the query now. As I've said that different vendors, they have their different syntax. Okay, so in some vendors, some SQL providers, like whoever, whatever are the DBMS, like whatever is the DBMS. So in those DBMS, this top keyword might not be there. Okay, this is like the general one, but in some vendors, they do not have a keyword called top. They do not have top clause. So for them, they have separate clause, that is limit or row num. So in case you are making use of MySQL database, okay, MySQL vendor, MySQL database. So for them, you don't have anything called as top clause. So if you write top there, you will get error. So don't, like, remember this. Don't go and write top everywhere. If it is MySQL vendor, then it is MySQL DBMS. Then you have to write select star from student. This is very common. Like you are going to select everything from the student, and then the clause which they have is limit. Okay, they don't have top, they have limit. So you have to write limit and then value, like limit 1, 2, 3, anything. So you can give any value here, but yeah, you have to write limit 2. So if you give limit 2 here, limit 2, then you are going to get the first two values. Okay, so for MySQL vendor, you will write this. And for the Oracle DBMS, okay, for Oracle DB, you have the second syntax. So for Oracle DB, you have select star from student, same thing above, like the first one and second one, select from student, where row num less than or equal to value. So in Oracle, they don't have top, they don't have limit, they have their own syntax, that is row num less than or equal to value. So row num is basically like every row is having their numbers, right, index, like 1, 2, 3, 4. So you will just be going and checking that is 1 less than or equal to the value what you have given. So less than or equal to, so 1 is less than 2, yes, so this will come in your result. Then is 2 less than or equal to 2? 2 might not be lesser than 2, but 2 is equal to 2. It's like this, 2 less than or equal to 2. If your value is 2, for this question we are finding the top 2, right? So 2 might not be less than 2, but 2 is equal to 2, right? So this will also come in your result. So for Oracle you will make use of row num, and for MySQL you will make use of limit, and normally you will make use of top. Okay, and see the difference. You can observe that normally for MySQL Oracle you have just written select star from student, and then whatever your clauses are, they are after the basic query, that is select star from student. But here you can see it is like normal one. Before select star from student you have written top 2. So this is one difference, that when you're writing top it is like before your the query, before the query, so it is in between query, whereas with MySQL and Oracle DBMS they are after. And with MySQL you don't have to use the where clause. Okay, you'll just write limit value. With Oracle you have to write the condition where row num is less than or equal to 5, 6, whatever. So remember that this question, it might sound like very easy, like you'll just write top 2, but in interview you should ask like which DBMS is it, because if you write this code and it gives you error, syntax error, then it would not be good. It would lead to a negative impact, that you were not able to solve this simple question. So remember that there are multiple syntaxes of multiple DBMS of how you can solve this question. Okay, so three different ways. Now let's go to our seventh question, where you are asked that fetch all the data from table student and sort the result in descending order according to roll number. So they have asked you that you are supposed to give like entire data, give me the entire data, but the data like roll number, whatever you here you are seeing, it should be reversed, it should be in the descending order. So what is descending? It is like the highest to the lowest. Okay, right? This is like ascending. You can see it is like 1 2 3 4. So 1 is at the beginning, that is smallest, and 8 is at the last. Now they want opposite, that is 8 will be at first, that is biggest will be at first, and 1 will be at last. That is what is descending. Now let's see how you can do. First we will see what it is written in question: fetch all the data from the table student. So you will fetch all the data. How do you fetch all the data? You just write select star from student. Okay, you have fetched all the data, but now you want to show it in descending order. For that you will have to make use of the order by. So you will write order by keyword, and then you will write order by what do you want to order, like by what do you want me to sort. So by roll number, this is what is written in the question, that you want to sort it with the roll number. You will write by roll number, and in case you don't give anything, then it will be in ascending. Okay, this is normal ascending. If you give it as descending, if you want it in descending, you have to explicitly mention DESE. Okay, descending, this is like abbreviation, short form of descending. So if you write this order by roll number descending, then this is what is your result. This is your result set, where you will get the same result, everything is same, but your roll number is starting from the highest, that is 8, and it is ending at this lowest, that is 1. So this is how you can sort. So with sort you have two, that is ascending, descending. In case someone asks you that give me this address with ascending, then how will you write? See, A is like the first letter, right? So if you want to do address with ascending, then your A, that is Alipur, should come in the first row. So for that, what will you write? You'll write the same things: select star from student, order by, this keyword is important, order by. Then you'll write address. What is your column name? Address. And then you can write, it is like optional, ASC, that is ascending. If it is optional, if you write, it's good. If you don't write, then DBMS, they will understand by themselves that you want it in ascending order. So you'll just write order by address, semicolon. Then it will give you the rows, like sorting will be based upon the address column and in ascending order. In case you want to mention, you can mention. This is optional. Okay, you can leave it or you can write it, but descending, if you want descending, this is not optional. You have to compulsorily write that, okay, I want it in descending order. This is how you can order, like you can sort your rows on the basis of a column called roll number. Then in case they have asked you that you are supposed to give, like there should be two sorting. Okay, two sorting of, like with age you will do the ascending order sorting, and with the roll number you will do the descending order sorting. So age wise your rows should be in ascending order, like lowest to highest, and roll number wise it should be in descending, that is highest to lowest. So how will you do that? Like let me show you like basic example that what your result set will look like. So let me clean everything. Yeah. So what we were discussing is we want our age to be in ascending order and roll number in descending order. So first we will arrange. See, this is the syntax of how you can do that. You have to write select star from student, order by. First time you'll write order by, then you'll write by what column you want, what you want ascending. So from age you want ascending, and from roll number you want descending. So your result will look something like, see, first you want age in ascending order. So what is the lowest? 18, right? 18 is how many times? 1, 2, 3, 3 times. So you will write 18 3 times. 18, I'm not writing that one. So let's suppose it is 18. Okay, 18 you have written. Then you want next, what is after 18? It is 19. 1, 2, 3. 3 times 90. So you will get 19 3 times 9, 9 and 9. Then after that, what do we have? 22 times, right? So 22 times you will get. This is how you will make your age, like as you are filtering your database, your table rows based upon age, and that is in ascending. But now there is one more order by, that is roll number descending. Age is fine, age you have given ascending, but roll number should be descending. So how roll numbers will be descending? With 18, what 18 is this? 1, then it is 4, and then it is 7. So what is the highest value in the roll number of 18? It is 7, right? So you'll write 7, then you'll write 4, then you'll write 1. Next in 19, 2 is there, 5 is there, and 8 is there. So what is the highest of 19, like values? 8. Then we have 5, and then we have 2. With 20, what are the highest? This one, 3 or 6. So 6 will be at first, and then you will have 3. So this is how you can write multiple, like you are sorting according to multiple columns. This one, what we saw, it is just one column, right? But in case interviewer is asking you that now you have to do sorting based upon multiple columns, so you can write the same thing, order by, and then your column name. You'll write ascending descending comma, then again column name, ascending descending, and you can continue. Like here it is just two columns, you can continue it with how many columns you want. But this is how your result set will look like. So 18 7 is which one? 18 7, that is this Rohit will come in the first row. This is how your sorting will be done. So it's like normal how we saw for the individual. Similarly we'll have the multiple columns sorting. Now let's go to eighth question, that is fetch fetch the roll number from student table using code as alias name. So it is nothing, it is very simple query. Simple result which you want to achieve is you want to know the roll numbers. Okay, you want to know the roll number, but in your result you will get 1 2 3 4 obviously, but in result this name what you see, right, this roll number heading name, that shouldn't be roll number. It should be something like code, like code, and then your answer will be same 1 2 3 4. So how do you do that? Like now it is not about you're doing some logic on your row, you're inserting, you're deleting. Now what you want is you want to change in the column heading. So column heading you want to change. How can you do that? There is some concept called as alias. We will see how we can do that. For that you have to write same thing, like very normal thing, select roll number. We will see how we can write it easily. You will just write select roll number from student. First you will write this select roll number from student. Okay, normal code of how we can get all the roll numbers in result. But now you want to change the column name. For that you have to make use of alias. Alias is nothing but the different name for your column. So for that they have given that you have to make use of code. Here it's written in question, right, using code. So you have to make use of code. It can be anything, like roll number, no is there, you can write roll underscore number number, or anything, student id, student number. So this can be any string, but this syntax here keyword is as. So for example, this is like in normal English, how do you say if you're introducing your team? How do you say that, okay, meet this person, he is this and she is this, and meet Shruti as software developer, right? You make use of the word as. For that only, that roll number is now going to behave as code. So that is what is alias. So now roll number, that was the keyword, now it is going to get changed. It is having a new name, that is code. So roll number as code. So roll number has become code. That this as is important, that is select roll number as code from student. So you'll get all the roll numbers, but roll number name, like the heading name, will get a new name, that is code, and this is called as aliases. And now let's see, there is one more, that now you don't want branch and you don't want grade, like you want the data but you want to change the column name. So how will you do that? Simple, it is select branch as string, so instead of branch you will get this will get changed to stream. Grade as CGPA, so this name will become CGPA. So you are giving aliases, you are giving different name for every column header. So your second result, like whatever second query you have written, this will be your result. So two values you have asked, right? You have asked for stream, you have asked for CGPA from student details. So this is your data table, that is from student details. You will get the details like stream and CGPA and all the values, these values. So this is how you can give the aliases to your columns. Now let's see the ninth question, that is fetch the records from student table with name ending with letter T. Okay, so before solving on these questions, we will try to understand how we can solve such wildcard like wildcard related questions. So there are some operators in SQL, those are called as wildcard operators. Okay, wildcard operators. So first wildcard operator which we have is this modulus operator. So this depicts that it is used to substitute like 0 or more characters. So in case you are writing this modulus operator, then it is going to substitute any character with the values like 0 or more. So if you have like fetch, okay, this fetch, if you're writing modulus, then this can be anything, it can be one character, it can be multiple character, 4 5 6. So it is like from 0 to any number, it is going to substitute the values from 0 to any numbers. Next wildcard operator which we have is underscore. So underscore is basically it is going to substitute, it is going to act as substitution of only one character, for example T. Okay, so it is going to act substitution of only one character, for example it is ram, right? So if you write ram as underscore, then this underscore is only going to represent r. But in case for ram you wrote this modulus symbol, then it can be anything, it can be 1, it can be 3, it can be 4. So here it is ram, so this modulus can represent three characters also, but whereas underscore is going to represent only one character, that is r or a or m, only one. Now let's see the third wildcard operator which is hyphen. Okay, this is underscore, this is hyphen. Okay, hyphen, it is used to substitute a range of characters. So it can be, it can have range, like this is for modulus is for multiple, underscore is for one. Now if I want to check only from a to l, okay, the values should be there between a to l. So this is where you make use of hyphen, that is from a to l you are going to check. So this is going to act as substitution for the range of character. Then we have is these square brackets. So square brackets, it is used to fetch the matching set or range of characters specified inside the character, so inside the bracket. So inside the bracket you can specify anything, and it is used to like fetch the matching set or the range of characters. Okay, now let's see the example first. First question which is asked to you is fetch the record from the student table where name is ending with T. Now in these all, in this four wildcard operators, how do you check, like how can you do it? So you just want to find that the name which is ending with T. So how do you do that? There can be, if there is some name like multiple name and it should be ending with T, so how do you do that? We don't know that how many, it can be anything, like here you have Sujit, right? There can be some other name also which might have five character, two character, it can be, like I'm giving some vague examples, but it might not be real name. Let us suppose it is and we don't know it is two digits, or it here it is four digits, or it can be any number of digits. So for that, if we don't know the exact number of digit, what do we use? We used to make use of modulus, right? That is going to replace from 0 to any number. So here we can write it as modulus. Okay, so here you have written modulus, it can be any number, it can be 2 3 1 0, any number. Or and then at last you are writing that T, that select star from student. So you are going to select those rows from student where, that is your condition, name like. So this like is important keyword. So whenever you are making use of any wildcard operator, like is important keyword. You cannot make use of wildcard operator without like keyword. So you are just writing name. Here this name can be any column name. So you're writing that name like. So like is a keyword, like name should be something like what, percentage, like anything from beginning, it can be anything, but ending should be T. So it is going to find such rows which can have the name from anything starting with anything, but last should be T. So you will get Sujit as your answer. Okay. So for this, you will get Sujit as your answer because that is the only name which is ending with T. Now, next question, like the next query which you can see is select star from student. Everything is same, like all the things are same. Select star from student where condition name like RAMES underscore. What was underscore? Underscore was going to replace only one letter, one character, right? This is what we discussed. So RAMES. So it is going to find, this query is going to find everywhere, every row which is starting with, like which is having value RAMES, and H can be anything, like only one value. It should have only one value, but it can be anything. So which row is that? It is Ramesh. In case there was one more like RAMESH and I. Okay, if in case it was I, then that value, that row will also come in your result because RAMES is matching, and then it is having only one digit, that is I. So that will match. And in case there was one more RAMESH, this and all is there, and then there is H at last, then there is one more like Y. Okay, then this will not be considered because here you have written wildcard entry for only one character, right? Not for multiple. So only one character, only one character has got matched. So now I've cleared everything in this screen. Now since we have discussed about the second query, we will see the third query, that is select star from student where address like percentage, and then we have the thing which we discussed previously was this one, right? Which was a square bracket. It is used to fetch the matching set. So what you're doing here, you are going to get the address who are having anything like any number of characters. So you have two modulus, that is starting can be any number of character and ending can be any number of character, but in between that you should be having something like A to C. Okay, so A to C, how will you check now? This one we will see address. So in address, you are checking that it can have anything, but in between something there should be A to C. Is there anything A, B, C here? No. Now you are checking the Gurgaon. Is there anything between A to C? In between anything? Yes, there is something, right? So Gurgaon will be there in your result set. And now this percentage can be anything, right? It can be anything. GURA. A we have got. Now this is our third one. Do we have anything in between some value, something of ABC? Yes, we have A. Then here do we have? No. Then here it's like similar. So Rohtak we have, yes, we had A, and with Gurgaon also we had A, right? So this will be your result for the third query. Now one more thing which I forgot to tell you, like this is useful for getting the values, right? This is useful to check that whether something is present or not. There's also something like negate. So you're negating that, okay, we don't want this, A to C shouldn't be there. So for that case, you'll get Delhi as your answer because there is nothing like A to C between this modulus. So you can write here like negate. It is like negative. It shouldn't have A to C. Okay, this is about the three queries which we have written here. Now if someone is giving you question that you have to check that address should have 6 digit, then what will you use? You will make use of underscore. Okay, so what does underscore mean? Underscore is going to anyway going to get matched to individual characters. So individual characters are basically like individual values. So 1 2 3 4 5. So this is how you can check these 6 digits address or 6 digits, 6 lengths character. Then if someone is asking, okay, this is one of the assignment for you and you have to let me know the answer in comment section, only then I'll get to know that okay, you have learned something from this video and you got to know, you understood wildcard operator. So this is the assignment, listen carefully. You are supposed to write like same query, select star from student where address like, and two modulus are there that starting and ending can be anything. Okay, starting and ending can have any digit of character, but in this there should be something like OH. Okay, so which is that row which will get, which will satisfy this condition, which is going to satisfy this like condition? You have to let me know in the comment section, then only I'll get to know that okay, this video was useful for you people. And then maybe I might make more such videos. If I don't get any response, then I think this is waste of time for you also and for me also. So it would be good if you let me know your answer. So question is like you have to search the row where address is something like, there can be anything in front of oh, any number of character, and after that there can be anything, but oh should be there in between. Let me know that row, like which is that row which is going to satisfy this condition. Okay, now since we have seen the wildcard operator, now let's go to the next question, that is you are supposed to calculate the salary of each employee. Now this was a easy question. Okay, in case you just had like normal, like just see if you had only this much, okay, only this three rows, then this was the easiest question ever, where you can just show whatever is the salary, that is the salary of each employee. But no, there is a catch here. What is the catch? Catch is nothing but there is duplication. Now Harsh is earning two times. Okay, so you cannot just give 2000 because he earned something afterwards also, he earned 3500. Now Dhanraj is fine. Now Ashish is also repeated, he is also earning two times. So how are you going to show the salary of each employee? Like you don't want to show the duplicate, I just want to know Harsh how much he earned. I want to know like cumulative value, I don't want like separate. Now again some 50 times he'll be earning 2000, you cannot show me that. I just want like entire salary how much he has earned. So how will you do that? For that we have something called as group by. So this is just by mistake, it is like complete query. So what you are supposed to do is, for this query you will write select name, you will give the name obviously because name you have to give of the employee, and then salary you have to give, and this is sum. Why are you doing sum? Because there is duplication, right? You want to make use of aggregate. See, aggregate functions are like min, max, average, sum. There are multiple aggregate function, and aggregate function you can only use if you're making use of group by. So here since there is duplication, we will make use of group by. For that you will write sum because two times are there. So you will do the sum and then only you will give me this result. Correct. So sum you will write, and then salary. This is what is asked in question. So you'll give the salary. If it was age, don't care. Like whatever is in question, if they're asking you to give the sum, just give the sum. Like increase her age from 19 to something else. Okay, but since it is salary, you will write the sum of salary from employee, obviously your data table. Now group by name. So you're doing group by name. See, this is the only way how we can define, how we can like understand how many unique employees are there. See, the serial number is just like normal number of the rows number. There's no employee number, only name is present. So only by name you can apply group. That is how you can get to know like how who is earning how much, right? So Harsh is earning two times. How did you know? Via name only, right? So this group by name you have to write. Now how group by name works, I'll tell you. Group by works, so since we are doing group by name, what group by is going to give you is, it is going to give you the distinct value. So we have learned about distinct keyword, which used to give you the unique value. Similarly, we will have the unique value. So group by is going to group your entire row with unique names. So what are unique names? You have to tell me. What are unique names? It is Harsh. Yes, Harsh is unique name. Two times it is duplicate, but unique is one time. Then we have Dhanraj. Yes, then we have Ashish, right? Ashish is there. So unique values we have got, but they should be group also, right? It cannot just give you Harsh 2000 and then skip this 3500. So what group by is going to do is, it is going to give you groups. So Harsh is one, yes, it is going to group by name, but it will have two values here, like Harsh 2000 and Harsh 3500. Then Dhanraj, who how much is he earning? He is earning 3000. And then Ashish, how much is he earning? He is earning two times, right? 1500 and 1500. This is how he is earning. So this is what your group by does. So group by, if you give group by salary, then it is going to do group by of 2000. So if in case like now it is not useful, I'm just giving you example how group by works. So if you give group by salary, so what are unique values? 2000, yes, it is unique. Then we have 3000, yes, it is unique. Then we have 1500, right? This is unique. And then we have 3500 again. So these are the unique values. If you write group by salary, you'll get this. And then in 1500, two people, so Ashish will be there. Okay, Ashish earned two times, so Ashish will be there two times. In case he earns something more or some age is different, so Ashish will be there. Then 2000 Harsh will be there. Then in 3000, who is there? Dhanraj is there. 3500 again Harsh is there, right? So this is how group by works. It is going to give you the grouped value of whatever you have written. So here, since you want to know the salary of each employee, how will you get to know distinct employees? By their name, obviously. If it was ID, you could have made use of ID. In this data table, it is only name, so you're doing group by name. So Harsh and all, you have got all the unique grouped value you have got. Now you have to just give the result. See, this is easier, right, for you to calculate like Harsh at one place. If there are some 50,000 places where Harsh is written at every like different intervals, different rows, how will you calculate? Now Harsh is in group, now you can calculate, it is easier for you to calculate, right? So how will you do? You are just doing sum. What sum of what? 2000 and 3500. So how much is Harsh earning? Harsh is earning 5500. So you have just grouped and then you are making use of sum. So in case they have asked you the average, you can make use of average, min, max, whatever, like any aggregate function. Here they have asked you to calculate the salary, so you'll do the sum of salaries. So this is how your group by works. So it is going to group your entire rows using the column and with one values, like unique values of your name, unique values of your salary, or unique values of your age. I hope you have understood this group by concept. If you have any doubt, do let me know in the comment section. Okay, I'll be happy to make another separate video on group by. Now this is the 12th question. So what is the 12th question? Yeah, 12th question, where you are asked to calculate the subject for every individual year and the number of students enrolled in that student. So this is again group by question. Okay, this is again a group by question, but let's see how we can answer this. So you are supposed to give the subject. How many subjects are there? English and mathematics, right? Two subjects are there. Individual years, so how many years are there? One is there, two is there, only 2 years. And you have to tell like how many people have enrolled in that. So how will you do that? So you can do that, since there is duplication, you have to make use of group by. I hope till now you know that. So you have to make use of group by. So group by subject, if you do, right, if you are just making use of group by subject and not year. So you can see the query, let me show. It is like subject, select subject, year, and count of how many people are there from student, group by student. So you will do group by of students, so there will be a issue here. So English and mathematics, if you do, so English and mathematics will have like only two groups, and then in this English you'll have one two, like one 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 two two, and then mathematics will have one one, and then in entirely your count, what you are doing here, count of star, English will have 1 2 3 4 5 5. This is wrong, right? You are supposed to give the individual. From first year there are three people in English, from second year there are two people in English. If you are just writing group by subject, it is going to give you wrong value, right? I hope you understood. This is your group. If you write group by subject, English, math, two groups, and then it is going to just give you the count, the entire count. It is not even considering your year, right? Years are also different. So for that reason you will have to write group by, like after subject comma, give comma, and then write year. So this is entire query. Okay, this, there was some mistake here, so I've just removed it. It is like select subject comma year comma count, like count how many students from student, and you're going to do group by student, group by subject, and group by year. So you have done group by subject and then you have done group by year. So this is how, see, this is how your group by subject and year works. So you have group by subject, you have done like, okay, English, mathematics is there, but year is different. See, English, why it has duplicate value? Because years are different, right? Two different years are there. So years, like from first year English, three people, from second year English, two people, and from one mathematics, two people. So this is how you can make use of group by. And it is not always like you will make use of only one group by column. They can be multiple based upon, like, see, this is a very simple example. You just want to know that from how many years of classes, how many subjects are enrolled. If you just write this group by subject, it is going to give you wrong answer, because English, and then it will not consider year, it is just going to give you the sum. And here, if you write year, then it is going to give you like proper result, that from first year English, three people enrolled, from second year English, two people enrolled, and from first year mathematics, two people enrolled. Okay, this is about the group by. Now let's see the 13th question. So 13th question is, find the employees whose salary is greater than 4,000. So how will you do that? For this also we have to make use of group by, but with group by we have to write one condition. So see, it is the same data table which we saw. There was duplication, there was some error. In case there was no duplication, you could have just simply, let us suppose that your data table was only having these many rows, okay, first three. So what you could have done, you could have just given select star from employees where salary greater than 4,000, right? This was the simplest thing which you could have done. But here, since they are duplicate, they are earning two times, three times, five times, so you don't know how you can calculate. So for that same thing we have discussed previously also, you will write select star select name and then sum of the salary from employees. See, we have written this in the previous also, right? Selects name sum of salary from employee group by name. Same thing here also, we have same thing, select name sum of salary from employee group by name. It's the same thing. You can go and rewatch that question if you have not understood the explanation. I hope till here you got to know like what will be the result, right? If you just execute this much, this is what your result will come up to. And then how do you write condition? If it's normal, you write where condition, but with group, how do you write condition? With group, if you're writing group by, then you have to make use of keyword having. Okay, where will not work here, so where you write here, select name sum from employee, where comes somewhere here after your data table name. But if you want to write condition on the grouped by values, then you have to make use of having, which will have, which will be writing after group by. So there is a difference between where and having. So having you write after grouping, where you write before grouping. Okay, so this is where you write where. Here we don't need where, so we have not written, we want having. So we are writing like grouped value we have got, then we are writing having sum of salary greater than 4,000 or 3,000, whatever is there in the question, that you can write. So you are just checking that in this grouped value whatever you have got, you are just going and checking which employee is having the salary greater than 4,000. It is Harsh, right? So answer will be your Harsh. So Harsh is having greater than 5,000, greater than 4,000, that is his salary is 5,500. So this question I have written, like I had written just to inform you that there is a difference between where and having. So if you're making use of group and then you want to apply some condition, you want to check some condition, then you cannot make use of where. Okay, where is before grouping and having is after grouping. So remember these syntax, guys. And yeah, now we have covered all the important questions. I hope you have understood the syntax and the logic behind them. And if you found this video to be helpful, then do give a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you have any feedback or you want me to make video on any other topic, or you want me to make video on the same SQL but intermediate level or difficult level question, then you can let me know in the comment section. And thanks for watching, everyone.